and welcome back to Through the Trapdoor. I'm Katie.
And I'm Emily.
And this is our podcast where we read you Harry Potter fan fiction.
I'm very sorry about the last 2 weeks.
Has it actually been 2 weeks?
I was assuming that Ben wasn't going to edit this in time, and it's going to be 2 Saturdays without our podcast. We're very sorry.
Yeah, we as promised did add intros to our rants.
We did do that.
But then it got messed up.
The audio file corrupted somehow. And there was at one point just a loop of me saying, and that's that, for like 5 solid minutes.
And
that's not something that anybody wants to listen to. I didn't want to listen to it even once. Like, it was horrible.
It was kind of funny.
I mean, it was funny, and like I was so mad all at the same time, and like stressed because I was moving and we were closing, and like it was a lot. But I'm better now.
Yes, we're in the podcast room.
We're in our podcast room. I mean, it's super empty because we've only been in the house a week.
Right, so
we have the computer desk and the computer and the computer chair and a random chair that I found, and then a little tiny mini side table that we found from somewhere to put the microphone on because it kept making weird feedback noises.
Right, and we have a small bookshelf with a collection of Harry Potter books.
Yes.
A Funko Pop figure.
Tom Riddle.
To be exact.
Yes.
And some lamps.
And a lot of nail polish.
And like 3 candles. 2 candles?
Yeah.
3 candles.
3 candles.
And a smelly tart thing.
I have 3 candles and one of those scenty warmer things because apparently this tiny little room needs a lot of fragrance.
I mean, it does smell great in here.
It does. I think that the candles just kind of ended up in here. Because all of this stuff used to be in my living room and now it's in its own room. So it just kind of ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eventually we'll have like individual microphones and like a couch.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. I don't even have curtains hung yet. Is where we're at. And like I have decorations hung on the wall, not because that's where they belong, but because I had an empty hook and an item that I needed to get off the floor.
So that's where it went.
So that's just where it lives. Like there's just like a random unicorn wall hanging hook on the wall behind me because I just wanted to stick it somewhere.
Right.
So that's where it lives for now.
For now. But today, as we have talked about several times, we will be reading, each of us, a very short Gilderoy Lockhart fanfiction.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a joy.
I need more Lockhart in my life, and I don't know why.
Yes. But today, we're drinking wine from the White Mountain Winery in the White Mountains of New Hampshire and North Conway. It is their Snowbound, which is a grape wine with watermelon juice.
It is delicious. It's only like 9% alcohol, so neither of us feel even slightly buzzed, and we've drank the whole bottle already.
So, yeah. And this is what's weird to me is, isn't basil only 8%? I feel like basil gets me tipsier than this.
No, I think basil's higher. I think that one's like 12.
Oh, okay.
I think, no, that might be the lowest at 11, but
still.
He keeps all of his wines pretty high.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, well, we were just out there. He was telling us about how he didn't like how low the alcohol percentage was on the new blueberry that he made, and he's upping it again, and all batches going forward will again be the like 14% alcohol.
Right, the basically dessert wine that we still will drink too much of.
Yes.
Because it's delicious.
Yep. We forgot to take pictures, but Katie experienced her first wine show.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
She had a blast.
So much fun.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I would have a lot more fun at a wine show if I was there drinking and not working, but
hey,
you get free wine we get free wine out of it.
We did. We got a lot of free wine.
Brought home a whole case.
Each.
Yep. It's fabulous.
It's great.
I brought home a lemon, and I'm so excited.
I was telling my mom about the lemon.
Waiting for a warm day.
And she's like, I want to try that. I'm like, don't worry, Mom. I'm saving it for you and I.
Mm-hmm. just waiting for a warm day so that way you and I can just like sit under the gazebo and make wine slushies out of the lemon.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
And then just gossip about everything. Like true wine moms without kids.
Yes.
Like
exactly.
we were doing last week. What was it? Patio furniture?
Yeah, we just spent like a solid 30 minutes last week just talking about patio furniture.
While drinking wine.
Yep.
It was...
We were like, yeah, and this piece should go here, and then you should get a chaise, and it should just go like on the porch this way.
And then a chimney because, I mean...
Obviously.
Yeah. And then we're like, who are we?
This is what happens when you grow up and you buy a real person house and not the shenanigans that I lived in previously.
That was a fun house.
As much as I loved that house, it was different.
It had a lot of character.
Yes, that is what that house had.
Yeah, character. Not that this one with the fridge and the pantry doesn't have character, but...
Yeah. Yeah. One day I'll have a pantry. Not now. Instead, I have a broken refrigerator. But one day I'll have a pantry. The people who bought our house actually asked us, is it haunted? We're like, not that we've ever seen.
Is it haunted? Oh, man. Yes. That house is 100% haunted.
It was never a negative haunting. It was like a door might slam here and there, which could also have been like the weird drafts that we just had in the house.
No. When you use a Snapchat face filter and something else in the room gets a face.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That happened often.
So
I forgot that happened. I stopped using the Snapchat face filters because of that.
Yes. It was a dormant haunt, but it was there.
Yeah. It never did, beyond occasionally a door slamming, which, again, might have just been the super drafty house, there was never anything.
No, it literally just had fun showing up in your Snapchat filters.
Yeah, that's really all that it ever did.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would possess people that slept on the opposite side of the house, so it would make them, walk around and, sleepwalk.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Did Alexander do that often?
No, but Sam did it pretty much every time he came to visit.
Interesting. And he's not a sleepwalker otherwise?
Other than when he stayed at our house, he never sleepwalked.
Interesting.
Yeah, Alexandra came down the next morning, and one of the times he stayed over, and she was like, does Sam sleepwalk? And I was like, not that I know of. We can ask Ben. And Ben's like, no. And apparently he had just been basically walking laps around the upstairs. And he would shut the doors behind him and just keep going. And then she'd be like, yeah. And then he came around a second time, left all the doors open that time. And then he went downstairs and then he came back up. And she was like, Sam, are you lost? Are you looking for something? She didn't answer. He just kept going in his laps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we're 300 bars into nonsense, which is just our MO, I'll start.
I'm excited. What do you got for me?
Harry Potter and the Best Professor.
So not Gilderoy Lockhart?
Well, according to this one, it is.
Okay.
The disclaimer says, I don't own Harry Potter. I own Draco Malfoy. Hey, Harry! Do you know who's going to teach Defense Against the Dark Arts this year? Asked Hermione Granger as she boarded the Hogwarts Express. No, I have no idea, responded Harry. Hermione was visibly excited. She seemed hyperactive and anxious. Harry waited for her to elaborate. Gilderoy Lockhart! Hermione practically screamed. Okay, and who is that? Asked Harry, still not understanding the object of his friend's excitement.
Didn't they know, one, in advance that it was going to be Gilderoy? And two, didn't Hermione meet them to go shopping?
Yes, but creative liberties.
Okay.
It's 823 words.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Let them take their creative
I'm sorry.
liberties.
I'm sorry.
It is a fan fiction in which he is described as the best professor in the title.
True. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
What? You don't know who Gilderoy Lockhart is? Hermione looked absolutely terrified. Why?
That's not a thing to be scared of.
No.
Harry doesn't know much of anything.
Seriously. She couldn't understand how anyone could not know who her idol was.
Noises.
Yeah, whispered Harry. Harry, Gilderoy Lockhart is the most awesome wizard ever. He is famous for defeating a lot of dark creatures, and his smile, said Hermione dreamily.
Could I just say that I love your Hermione impression? I feel like it's pretty spot on for what she's doing.
Yeah, I'm channeling my inner, like, middle school.
Okay,
Girl.
you're doing a good job.
As she looked to be lost in her own imagination, Harry decided not to bother her. He took out his Defense Against the Dark Arts school books for this year and started reading it.
That is not something Harry would do.
No. But can I just ask you a question?
Okay.
When reading fanfic, when you see Defense Against the Dark Arts, abbreviated to DADA, do you read it out loud fully in your head, or do you just skip over it?
I think I just skip over it.
Okay. Because that's what it was just then, and I'm like, I'm just going to read it, the whole thing.
Yeah. But I think in my head, I'm just like, yeah, and they're talking about Defense Against the Dark Arts, yeah.
Like, you just automatically know.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I just needed to say it.
This is coming from the person who, when reading Lord of the Rings, literally skipped over the entire Sam Frodo chapters because I just couldn't handle it. All of them. I just skipped all of them.
You just were like, nope.
And nope. Oh, they're still talking. Nope. This is still Sam. Okay, and we're back.
I mean, when watching the movie,
I do the same thing.
like 2 hours of the 3.5 hour movie is them just walking through fields.
I bring this up because Ben and I started watching Lord of the Rings the other night.
Very nice.
Because he wanted to try out his new basement surround system.
I mean, of course.
And he was like, we can even watch Lord of the Rings. And I was like, okay, calm down. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm as much of a fangirl for Lord of the Rings as I am for Harry Potter. But
Calm down.
I also hate Sam and Frodo. I mean, I love Sam. He's great. But together, they're very taxing.
And what I think is so funny is I adore both of them as actors.
Yes.
I love Elijah Wood, and I can't remember his name, but he's delightful.
I think his name is Sam.
Is his real name Sam?
I think his real name is Sam.
All right, we'll figure it out later.
I just love that he's in the Goonies.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite movie that he's in.
And Stranger Things.
Oh, I always forget that he's in Stranger
Things
Things.
Season 2. Good old Bob sacrificing himself to the demi-dogs.
Anyway, we've gotten very off topic.
Yes, we have. All right. And started reading it. It was titled Petrifying a Basilisk with a Smile, or How I Killed a Terrible Monster Just by Being Handsome. And it was written by none other than Gilderoy Lockhart himself. It looked interesting enough, so Harry read it for the rest of their journey.
No.
No. I like how close you got to the microphone for that. No. And by the end of it, he became a fan of Lockhart as well.
Also, no. Harry could spot his fake from 1,000 miles away.
Immediate. As soon as he saw that blonde hair,
Fake smile.
he knew.
He knew. Yeah, because he met Lockhart in the bookstore when they were buying the books the very first time.
I know. And Lockhart was like, "Come, Harry, get your picture with me. We'll be in the papers."
That's right. That's how they knew, because Lockhart announced it in the bookstore. He was like, oh, and I'm going to be the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher this year. That's why you're all buying all of my books.
Right. Ugh. Although he was just delightfully written to hate.
True. Hence why we're reading about him now.
Exactly. he became a fan of Lockhart as well. After all, if the man was able to kill a basilisk using only his smile, he must be fairly awesome. A passage of time. Welcome, students. Welcome to your first lesson of Defense Against the Dark Arts, said Gilderoy Lockhart to his new pupils. Almost all of the children were stunned by the man's charming smile, and a few of the girls even fainted. You're probably thinking that the first lesson would be boring, right? Not to worry. I have something exciting prepared for you.
Is it Cornish pixies that he's going to let out of a cage?
Well, we're going to see. Chirped Lockhart happily, and he left the classroom, asking everyone to follow him. They finally stopped near the entrance to the girls' bathroom on the second floor, which was occupied by Moaning Myrtle.
Oh my god. What is happening?
I don't know, but can't be much more. This is only an 800-word story. Professor, what are we doing here? Asked Hermione, not really sure why they would stop near this infamous bathroom of all places.
Yes.
Well, we're going to kill a basilisk, of course, said Lockhart and went inside the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. The students all stood still, frozen to the floor. All of them appeared to be shocked. Only Harry smiled and looked excited.
He would. That is very canon, Harry.
Yeah. Finally, an exciting lesson. Come on, everyone. What are you waiting for? The professor is experienced in killing basilisks. Didn't you read his book? Asked Harry as he went inside following the professor. Oh, that's right. I forgot about it, said Hermione, and she relaxed a bit. Come on, guys. There's nothing to worry about. We're in good hands. After that, all the students relaxed and went inside as well.
Is that the end of your story?
No.
Oh, it continues. Okay.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
I don't know. But there's another passage of time.
Oh.
Well, here we are, everyone. The infamous Chamber of Secrets, exclaimed Lockhart.
So secret.
Also, what?
Why does Lockhart just know where it is?
I don't know. Exclaimed Lockhart when they arrived at their destination. And now I must ask you remain here, as I will go and slay the monster, he declared, and went a bit further ahead toward the big statue of Salazar Slytherin.
Does he know Parselmouth?
Well, he must have, because he got past the door that you have to get through.
I mean, it also started with Harry Potter reading a book, so this story's not to be believed.
Yes. Creative liberties.
Yes, that's right.
Do you think he'll be all right? Asked Hermione anxiously. The students were visibly scared, but nobody wanted to seem like a coward, so they all just remained in place. Of course he'll be all right. He's the most powerful wizard to ever live, said Harry, and put on his anti-basilisk sunglasses the professor gave to them. And hold up.
I'm sorry, what? I have many problems with what you just read.
I'm just going to read that one more time. I'm going to try to get through it. Then we are going to discuss.
Okay.
Of course, he'll be all right. He is the most powerful wizard to ever live, said Harry, as he put on his anti-basilisk sunglasses. The professor gave them to the students earlier, saying they will protect them from being killed by the basilisk's sight. The most powerful wizard?
Basilisk sunglasses?
Oh, yeah.
What?
No.
I now love this story.
Oh my goodness. It's almost done. I paragraphs. Okay. Ooh, all right. You are right. I don't need to worry, said Hermione, though she still appeared to be anxious. Meanwhile, Gilderoy was whispering something while he looked at the great statue on the other side of the chamber. Suddenly, they heard a frightening noise, and the statue opened, revealing the great monster behind it. Gilderoy looked as confident as ever and took out his autobiography from his pocket.
Oh, of course he did.
What is your autobiography gonna do, Gilderoy?
It's the one where he stopped the basilisk by smiling at it, remember?
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Hello, Mr. Basilisk. Are you feeling well today? Asked Gilderoy as he looked at the monster. The basilisk didn't seem to understand human speech, as it looked ready to attack the professor. It opened its mouth, and everyone gasped as they saw the monstrous fangs inside it. Professor, watch out! Hermione screamed. Gilderoy looked surprised as well, but recovered after only a moment, and he smiled at the monster, clearly confident about his next move. Mr. Basilisk, would you be so kind and kill yourself?
Super casual.
We would be all very pleased if you did so, he said, and flashed his most charming smile at the monster. The basilisk didn't look pleased at the idea and began its attack. After 2 seconds, Lockhart was dead, crushed by the enormous basilisk's body. After 10 more seconds, all of the students were dead as well, eaten by the terrifying monster.
Oh, God.
Safe to say, it was the best lesson ever.
It took such a turn.
My goodness. That can be posted, that's fine. Oh my God.
Such a turn.
That took a turn I was not expecting.
All right. I don't have any words about how I feel about that story.
Oh man, okay.
All right. Mine is called Gilderoy's Helping Hand.
All right. Well, as we just learned, he is not helpful. He is not helpful at all.
No, he just got everybody killed.
Everyone.
Everybody.
12-year-olds.
A bunch of 12-year-olds. And Harry Potter. I mean, he was also 12, but...
Still.
Harry Potter. All right. Gilderoy's Helping Hand. He looked himself in the mirror and nodded approvingly. The mirror image gave him a thumbs up. The new dress robes fitted perfectly. The violet fringes were a stunning detail. Maybe a bit too unconventional for some people, but then he wasn't conventional. He was Gilderoy Lockhart. Perhaps the collar should be just a bit higher. He adjusted it and twirled to admire the result.
Yes.
Yes.
A twirl.
Yes. However hard to believe, he was actually looking even more smashing now. There was a knock on the door, and Gilderoy quickly turned away from the mirror. He adjusted his smile and made sure the light in the room did him justice. Then he waved his wand and opened the door. A bleak girl he vaguely remembered from his first-year class entered hesitantly. Yet another fangirl. Please enter, my dear, he said with a patent Gilderoy smile, and the girl took a few hesitant steps into his office. She was red-haired, and her face was speckled with freckles. Gilderoy had a weak memory of there running around quite a few students at the school who resembled her enough to probably be her siblings. But right now he couldn't remember her name. She looked thin and pale. However, there were black bags under her eyes. She fervently clung to a worn, black book. Even Gilderoy could see that something was amiss. "What can I help you with, darling?"
Really? Because she's a small 11-year-old child with bags under her eyes. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. "What can I help you with, darling?" he asked with another radiating smile and gently maneuvered her into a chair that wasn't cramped with any stacks of photos, hair potions, or books waiting to be signed. She gave him an anxious look as she sat down on the edge of the seat. "Please," she whispered, "I need..." She hesitated, and Gilderoy filled in. "A signed photo of one and incredible Gilderoy Lockhart."
No.
"Fear not, dear, you shall have it, and one for your little friends as well."
No.
He produced his peacock feather quill with a practiced move. The girl, however, shook her head with almost a scared expression. "No, I mean, I need your help." "Well," Gilderoy said, somewhat annoyed about her refusal. "Spit it out, then. What can I do for you?" The girl, for some reason, gave the book she was carrying a glance of pure dread, then abruptly stood up and started to talk very quickly, her eyes locked on Gilderoy's face. "You have to help me," she pleaded with panic in her voice. "He's in my mind. He talks to me when I sleep. There are times when I don't remember what I've done. The chickens, Mrs. Norris, I think I might be. You're the defense teacher. You've helped so many people. You have to help me."
I feel like this is very much first year Ginny.
Yes. Gilderoy was somewhat taken aback by the urgency in the girl's plead. "Dear girl," he began, putting a reassuring hand on her shoulder, "fear not. Nothing will harm you in the presence of the one and only." "I think I'm Slytherin's heir," the girl whispered. Oh, she whispered with tears streaming from her face.
Well, all right.
He frowned. "No, that won't do. I will discover and overpower Slytherin's heir eventually, of course. But it can't be a little girl. It must be someone with an aura of evil and nastiness."
Oh, that was a great capture.
That's perfect.
I took like 4, but that one's the best one.
I feel like you took it as I was saying nasty.
I did. I captured nastiness.
"Someone that has a manner of a dark lord. After the Wagga Wagga werewolf, my audience has certain expectations after all." The girl looked up at him in disbelief. "What?" she yelled. "I don't care how it will look in a book. You must help me." "Oh, it seems like I've said a bit too much," Gilderoy admitted. "No fear, I'll leave you with good memories of this meeting." He pointed the wand at her. "Obliviate!" "Now how shall we handle this?" he muttered to himself as he mused over what false memory he should implant. "You, a lovesick and star-struck teenage girl, came to see your great hero, the incredible and most handsome Gilderoy Lockhart, and asked for his autograph. However, my charm overwhelmed you, and you nearly fainted in my office. Yes, that will do." Gilderoy turned to the girl again, but interrupted himself as he saw her face. Instead of the dazed puzzlement obliviated people usually express, the girl was radiating pure, undiluted joy and thankfulness. "He's gone," she whispered. A broad smile emerged from her still teary face. "You removed him from my head." And before Gilderoy knew it, she had thrown herself around his neck and had given him a hard kiss. "He's gone!" she cried jubilantly. "Thank you so much. You're my hero, Gilderoy. I will take this evil thing to Dumbledore immediately. And radiating of happiness and relief, the girl danced out of his office with her rugged old book and ran away through the corridors of Hogwarts. Gilderoy's eyes followed her, and when she was out of sight, he thoughtfully closed the door. Not entirely sure what had just happened, but the girl seemed to be in better spirits, and he supposed that, after all, was his main responsibility as a teacher. He hadn't had time to implant a false memory, but the girl didn't seem to be a danger to him, so he supposed it wasn't very important. The false memory he had planted was nothing but the truth anyway. And really, who could blame the girl for acting a bit weird when she met the wonderful and truly one-of-a-kind Gilderoy Lockhart?
I like that that was so much faster than mine, but mine had a lot more to talk about.
I know, mine was a very straightforward story where it was just like, Ginny got obliviated.
And all he did was erase the memory of Voldemort from her mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically all that happened.
He accidentally helped.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I feel like that one was a very, true to canon story, whereas yours was just,
A hot mess.
It started out with me being upset.
It was just a lot of creative liberties.
Yes, a lot of creative liberties were taken in your story.
Just a few.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you so much for joining us on our journey through the trap door.
Please leave us a review on Facebook or iTunes. It would literally mean the world to us.
It really would.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Through the Trapdoor 16 or on Twitter at The Trapdoor.
And please send us an email at throughthetrapdoor16@gmail.com with any story suggestions. And as always, join us again next Saturday as we travel through the trapdoor.